Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming. I see some familiar faces here. Hi again. Society said a woman needed to be with her husband. So if she happened to have been married to a Southern gentleman and was in fact living in the North, and he decided to go home, Lee, for instance, Robert E. Lee, who left West Point to go back to Virginia, she had to go with him. It didn't matter whether her family was a Northern family or not. The same held true for the Southern ladies. If a Southern lady had married a Northern gentleman and he decided to go home, she was expected to accompany him. This is a problem. These ladies didn't get to see, the ones who went did not get to see their families all through the war. And when they landed wherever they were going, they weren't accepted anyway. When Emily Dickinson passes away, it is Susan who arranges her funeral and does her obituary, which focuses not on the eccentricity of the woman, but the sensitive nature and on her mind and on her genius. Presidents begin to use their wives as representatives, and it starts with Martha Washington. Remember, at that point in our history, we're really not traipsing around the world a whole lot. There's a lot of political things going on, and we're kind of confined within our own borders. As we go through time, I'm going to show you how they started out as in strictly a social sense. Martha Washington's dinners, Harriet Lane's soirees, where she kept her ear on what was going on in Washington to keep Buchanan informed of here's what's brewing and here's what's good. And now we see them in the more modern sense, where they actually sit on presidential committees and head up policies here in the United States. And so we've come a long way, baby, if you will. They used to make things called story cloths. Story cloths to document, just like we do with quilts, important events. Marriages, tribal victories, migrations, moving. Anything that they felt that they wanted to document, they would do by making these story cloths or story plaques. Now the difference is they didn't sleep under them. They were decoratives. They were actually documents. And so they would incorporate beautiful materials with texture and color. They'd use grasses, shells, rocks, ribbons, whatever they had that would tell the story adequately. Things that people have a tendency to forget about Jane Austen is that she has only 6 major works out there. 6 books. That's it. Think about the contemporaries that we have today who crank them out to the letters of the alphabet. You know, we have a situation where this lady only lived for 42 years. She really wasn't among us all that long. And yet 200 years after her death, we are still reading her and rereading her and making movies about her and about her work. There's a likeness here that other people recognized in the form of Michelangelo's prophet Isaiah. And if you put these side by side, as the Kansas City Star did, you can actually see the similarities. They were the ones who brought it to the attention of the general public, and it's kind of lived on in the legend. We don't know, there's no documentation and no discussion with Mr. Rockwell that he did it intentionally, but there is a similarity that cannot be ignored.